When children are growing up, they need guidance from parents and caregivers. As they transition through the different stages of development, they look up to parents as role models for all sorts of behavior, including emotion regulation. For instance, as young people maneuver through adolescence, a stage characterized by several changes in their bodies and life in general, they have more questions than answers. Often, they need an adult to hold their hand.
We need to see how we can have our children guided, what they watch, what they do definitely enjoy. We should be part of that. Parents don't just neglect or leave everything to the housemates, because you never know what kind of values they will instill in your children and grandchildren.
To seek guidance on proper parenting, we had the honor to interact with the Reverend Richard Rukundo, the Youth and Children Coordinator, the Provincial Secretariat of the Church of Uganda, who urged parents to take children as a blessing from God.
Parents are blessed because, every child is a gift from the Lord. And I believe that parents should never look at their children like burdens, like those who have come to take away their time. Every child is given to you as a blessing from the Lord. And I'm sure when you get a gift, a lovely gift from the Lord, you should love them, you should care for them, you should give them time. And parents, there's always one thing I say to us as parents, that the best things in life that we give our children are not things that we buy with money. Things like time, things like love, things like patience with them, things like learning to care for them. All those things do not need money. You don't have to go to the supermarket to buy anything out of love. So many parents think that, I need to have a lot of money to love my children, to do this for them. But let me tell you, you and me who grew up in many homes where there were many things that were not there, our parents just had time for us, love for us, and care, and many things they did for us did not take money.
Reverend Rukundo gave the role spiritual guidance plays in the upbringing of a child and how parents can effectively incorporate it in their daily routines.
As a church, we emphasize spiritual nurture and guidance because we believe that God is the reason why we are here in the world. All of us have a maker, and let me tell you, that child, unique as they are, God knows them better than you. Every equipment we buy usually comes with a manual. And let me tell you, God is the one who understands us better than anybody else. So where a child is nurtured and helped to understand that God loves them, God created them, God knows them better than you, God understands them, and God has a plan for their life, they will grow to live and serve Him and be useful citizens of a country and find purpose for life.
But what happens when parents and caregivers are absent during the child upbringing, or worse still, lack proper parenting skills to support their children as they grow up? Reverend Rukundo advises parents to always be available for their children.
I want to call upon you again to know that the best gift we can give our children is time, not money. So if you're a parent looking out there for money, I know that there's a story I read recently about a boy who said that for 3 years he's been in secondary school. The parents have never visited him. Now, those parents may be working very hard to get school fees and to pay everything for him. But let me tell you, that boy's interest is the fact that mother or father can go there and visit them. Many parents give an excuse of we are working. But let me tell you, who are you working for who doesn't feel like they are loved and cared for? These children want first feel like they are loved and cared for and appreciated, and you have time for them to listen to them, to understand them. Then you can give them what you don't have.
He also shared tips on how parents can address and navigate the challenges posed by modern technology and social media in their children's lives.
Parents, right now we are struggling because many of us are in an era which we never grew in. Many of the children we have right now are growing in an era where there is internet, there are phones, there are gadgets everywhere, and I know many of us did not grow up in those instances. But let me tell you, as a parent, every child can utilize those things for the good. And I think fighting them is not very right, because sometimes parents want to think that when you keep away your phone, when you keep away internet, they will not. They can even go to their friends' phones and find out. They can go to people's gadgets and find out. I think the best we can do is empower them to be able to navigate through what they're going through.
He further gave strategies parents can employ to foster a strong sense of responsibility and independence in their children from a young age.
These days, we really are living in a world which has changed. Our world was quite different, that when you asked for something, sometimes they would slap you or beat you, or they would think that it was useless. I think that we need to look at what reality of the world we are living in now. The children now are empowered, but also they are growing in a world where they know their rights. But like as a church we say that you have a right, you also have a responsibility. If you want food and food is a right for you, you also need to have a responsibility. So that when you get the food, you don't waste it. You want freedom, but if that freedom is not used properly and it infringes on others, then you no longer have that freedom. So I think as parents, we need to empower our children to know that they have rights, but they also have responsibilities.